We go. So our practice tonight, we're going to be focusing on twists, shoulder work, some low back, hips, and we're going to throw in a heart opener there as well. So welcome to our Feel Good Friday Yin Yoga practice. I swear they know when I go live, right? Is this like the bewitching hour in Las Vegas every Friday at 5 p.m.? It's like 5 to 6 p.m. is like when it's the loudest. The airplanes, the ambulances, the sirens. Oh, I know what I'm praying for next is a quieter location, that's for sure. Okay, comfortable seat, my friends. Comfortable seat, cross-legged. Bring those shoulders over the hips. And if you feel like you would like to close your eyes, go ahead and allow your eyes to close from top to bottom. And then gently take your finger on your chin and then push your chin in just a little bit. Just notice, right, if we've been protruding our chin forward, and think about what that does to our neck. A lot of us do that when we're on our cell phones. So try to keep your head in alignment with the rest of your spine, because I see so many people walking around like this with this projected chin forward, and they have this wicked hump in their neck. So let's prevent that. A really good exercise to do is to sit with your back and shoulders against the wall, and that will really help your posture. So just a little something to throw in there. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, eyes are closed. Begin to become aware of your body. So noticing your toes, maybe giving them a little wiggle. Notice what your feet are resting on. Maybe a yoga mat, maybe a blanket, maybe the floor, maybe it's soft carpet. But just bring some awareness to your body, kind of activating our senses. And then maybe wiggling the fingers, tapping them on your knees. And then maybe take your fingertips and gently rub your knees. Maybe it's skin you're feeling, or maybe it's material from your clothing. Really nice grounding activity, you know. I'm touching my knees, I can feel my clothing, I can feel my skin. And then you can even start to describe how it feels. It feels smooth, it feels rough, it feels fluffy, whatever it is. And then begin to notice your jaw and your teeth, your mouth. Taking that last bit of saliva, swallowing it. And then begin to notice your breath. Become aware of the sensation of breathing in. What happens when you take that fuller, deeper breath? What parts, what sections of your body do you feel expand with your inhale? And then observe what happens to your body on the exhale as you completely empty out the breath from your lungs. And then imagine a string coming out at the crown of your head, pulling you up gently. So carefully elongating your spine, but feeling your rooting down through your sitting bones. Continuing those nice, smooth, even breaths in, very expansive, making space. And then begin that slow, smooth exhale, but can you maintain that length and space you created with the in-breath? So try not to lose that. You might feel the abdominals kick on when you do that. And acknowledging anything that is coming up in your mind, or maybe there's a sensation, an underlying feeling, just acknowledge it. And maybe, if it's comfortable, the idea of inviting and welcoming that sensation and feeling into the body, right? Identifying it, whatever it is, sadness, grief, confusion, fear. Go ahead and give it a name, whatever it is, and say, it's okay. You can be here with me right now. When we start to get those uncomfortable feelings, the fear, anxiety, like they're all there for a reason. We're being asked to pay attention, to notice, to reflect. So, whatever it is, it's okay. Just gently begin to bring back some sensation to your fingers and to your toes. Carefully blink open your eyes, but keep the gaze low towards the ground. And gently lift the eyes. All right. Wonderful. All right, so let's go ahead and start with some shoulder work. Let's do that. Okay, so however you want to arrange your body, if you want to come back to cross-legged or if you want to switch up the legs, I switched the crossing of my shins so the other shin was in front because we've been here for about 15 minutes or so. So if you need some movement, go ahead and do that. But let's get into the shoulders here. So, you know what? I take it back. Let's add the legs too. Let's get the hips in. I'm just like, you know what? Let's just do, I like to do a lot of 2-for-1s, right? Getting in big groups together. So let's take it into either full shoelace or half shoelace. We're going to do basically like eagle on the floor. So half shoelace would be extending one leg. This is just being mindful if we have knee issues and we don't want to put any additional pressure. Because the other way is like stacking the knees, and that might just be a little too much. But if it's not too much, then you can go ahead and start to take that. I'm just going to show this first. So I have currently the left knee bent and the left ankle above the right knee. So opposite, I will take my right arm on top, left arm underneath to come into my eagle. Now, that's one option with the legs. If you're taking the full bind or the full wrap, I guess you could call it, the full stacking shoelace, just make sure you're even on both sitting bones. And then this lower knee doesn't have too much pressure on it. You can always add some support if you'd like. If it's too much, come back into half shoelace. All right, let's hang here for 2 minutes. Get the timer going. 2 minutes. Wrap those arms as you are ready. Opposite arm on top. Right, so left knee on top, my right arm will be on top, wrap once, maybe twice, and then just let those elbows come down towards the chest. We're not lifting the elbows here. Just start to feel that sensation. The first one is what you're feeling. Is it painful? Is it just uncomfortable? I was talking to a friend who's doing yoga teacher training. Talked to a couple people today about yoga, actually, my hair girl and my girl from my other location I went to go stop in and see. And so being able to sit and breathe through discomfort and challenge helps us to grow. So when I said about like those uncomfortable feelings, right, they're showing up for a reason because they're asking us to grow, right? Either a change in behavior, maybe a shift in mindset. Something's got to give, right? Something's got to change if we want change. If you want to take this deeper, you're more than welcome to come down a little bit more into a fold. Maybe the legs, or excuse me, the arms rest on the legs. You might feel something more into the hips, maybe the low back. If it's too much pressure, come back up. You have full control over how deep you take the shape. Just keep breathing. On your exhale, carefully unwind your legs, unwind your arms, and then if you want any movement, take whatever movement you need. Maybe it's extending the legs forward, giving them a little shake. You know, my old tried and true favorite, windshield wipers, always good. Windshield wipers might segue into something else later. Since we want to do a little additional twists, I think it might be nice to throw in a little deer. Okay, as you are ready, we will take figure four, or not figure four, but half shoelace on the opposite side. So left leg will be straight, right knee bent. Just make sure wherever you're placing that ankle, it's either on the shin or it's on the femur bone, just not on top of your knee. And then you have that choice if you want to stay here or bend it back. And then remember, opposite arm will be on top. So if we have the right leg on top, it'll be the left arm on top. All right, 2 minutes here. Again, even on your sitting bones. Wrap once, maybe twice, and then just let the elbows come down. And then notice, again, where are you feeling this? How does that sensation feel? Uncomfortable, painful. Painful, obviously come out. Let's breathe through the sensation, whatever that is. And again, a choice to take it deeper, come forward into the fold. Maybe gently tucking your chin in. And if it looks different from one side to the other, that's okay. We are not perfectly balanced all the time. Again, it's just another lesson in acceptance without any kind of judgment. We're like, this is just what it is, and I can work on it. Maybe it can improve. But time and patience is a factor. There are factors in that. All right, gently exhale, unwind the arms, unwind the legs or uncross them. Take that movement. Kind of nice just to get into the inside and outside of the thighs, the inseam, right? Okay. I do want to hold in that, so don't go too far from the windshield wipers just yet. Let's find a bolster. This can be a twist and then a deeper twist. So I want you to find the depth that's going to work for you today. So taking basically 90-90s here. If you cannot get the femur bones in those 90-90s, that's fine. This back leg can come a little forward, and maybe even the foot of the front leg touches the top of the knee. That's fine. Pull this bolster closer. If you don't have a bolster, use some blankets, pillows, stack it up, because when we come down, we're going to want to rest our chest on top of that structure, whatever that is. So you may need to build it up. So take whatever props you have and find the appropriate number of props with the correct arrangement. Might take a blanket here across the top for a little pillow. So there's a choice. All right. Feel grounded on the sitting bones. Pull that bolster in a little bit more. So choices. You are more than welcome to stay just right here. If this is enough and you're feeling it, maybe it's just a little twist. Maybe it's just staying upright. When we come deeper into this twist, this hip, this outside hip, is going to want to come up off the floor for the ride. And our goal, our work is to keep it grounded, right? It may swing forward a little bit if you're coming all the way down. But if you're not coming all the way down, try to keep it grounded. Okay? All right. Let's come deeper into the twist if you're joining me. We're not going to be here for super long. Let's say 3 minutes on each side. I think that'd be a really nice deep twist. If you need to come out sooner, please do so. Don't ever feel like you need to stay as long. If you've had enough time in it, then you've had enough time. Your body will know when. And then maybe you take your arms around your bolster and rest your head. Just continuing to breathe here. Nice, full, even breaths. And if you happen to hold the breath and you notice it, go ahead, start breathing again. It happens sometimes, it's okay. But let's just go back into our breath. If the thoughts come, that's okay. Again, just kind of acknowledge them. Hi, I see you, thought. You're there. I will get back to you later. We're not going to interact and do this right now because I'm breathing and I'm doing something good for me. Either the thought will come back if it's important, and if it doesn't, that's okay too. Keep breathing into this twist. Good. And then carefully walk your hands back under your shoulders. Press into your palms. Inhale, come up, unwind. Maybe face away from the bolster for a moment. Again, windshield wiper the knees side to side, or maybe it's a reverse tabletop. You can lift the hips up if you feel like you need a little stretch, if the hips need a little movement, do something like that. But take your time. You have a few more moments to kind of move around and get that dynamic movement in, whatever it looks like. Just be mindful of the areas where we might have stretched the soft tissue. And I'm going to flip my bolster around to the other side. All right, so same idea, same setup. Pull that bolster close to the hip and then make those 90-90s with your legs or something close to it. It's okay if they're not exactly 90-90s, but try to feel even. Try to feel rooted down in this outside hip. It will lift as you come into that twist, but if we're not going deep, keep it rooted down because it's going to want to actively engage when we start to twist, right? It's going to want to come along for the ride. That's what the hips like to do. All right, so sitting up nice and tall, and then maybe taking a little twist here to start. Maybe that's where you're going to stay. Totally fine. Let's start the timer. 3 minutes once again on the opposite side. And if you're coming down, go ahead and place one hand on each side of the bolster. And then see, as I came to do that, that back hip popped up. That's fine because I'm coming into the twist. I can also bring this knee forward to give myself more space. And then carefully bring yourself down onto your structure, whatever that is, a bolster, blankets, towels. And then find yourself relatively comfortable in this shape. And if you want a little more sensation, you want more for the spine and the neck, you may turn your head the opposite way as well. So it's, your head is facing away, opposite direction as your knees. Breathing here. Soften through the areas on your exhales, especially the areas where we might be holding tension. So if you feel the glutes gripping, the hip flexors gripping, can you release on an exhale and just soften? Let go. We do not need to hold on to everything. We try so hard to stay in control of everything around us. But when we let go and allow, life becomes more manageable, easier. And who doesn't want that? Right? Who wants to have to try to control everything? It's exhausting. Whew. Okay. Gently walk your hands back under your shoulders. Inhale, push the floor away. Exhale, unwind. Take movement, windshield wipers. Maybe it's a down dog. Maybe it's some cats and cows, but do what feels right in your body, and we will meet up. Have your bolster close by. I'm just thinking what I want to do first. If I want to go into our low back, or if we, yep, let's do the low back. I think that might be nice now. I'm just thinking. we'll do low back. So you don't need the bolster. But take a few more moments of movement. I'm going to take some cats and cows, and we're going to meet on our belly for some Sphinx to get into that low back. Okay, my friends, as you are ready, find your way onto the ground, onto your belly. So lovely to be on the belly. It really helps. I'm just going to move this over. It really helps with our nervous system. When we come down to the belly, we do something on prone. Sorry, my words are not with me right now for the moment. I think I got a little too relaxed in that deer. I literally caught myself almost drooling. I was like, so hopefully it was really good for you too. Okay. All right. So on our bellies in our prone position, Sphinx, walk the elbows a little forward. If this is too much, then gently walk the elbows out to be closer to the ground, right? Because think about the target area. I'm targeting the low back and the full spine. So depending on where you want to feel it, if you want more sensation, come up higher. Less sensation, come lower. Okay. Legs as well. Less sensation, bring the feet wider. If you want more sensation, take the feet together. So you have options. Find the best choices for your body today. And that's where we'll be. So we're going to be here for a moment. Let's take it here for 4 minutes. The final minute option to come up into seal, taking it to a little deeper back bend. So once you figure out your legs and your arm position, final thing is your head. Dropping it back might be a choice. Bringing your head kind of neutral. Maybe your gaze is at the top of your yoga mat. And if you want a little bit more, bring your chin in towards your chest. Just different sensations. And I always encourage you to try them all out. See what's going to work best for you today. Maybe something that you don't normally do, you're going to do it today and it just feels right. Go with it. Trust your body. Trust your instincts. Listen to what your body is asking for. The body is very wise and always communicating with us. Relax into your facial features, your jaw, your tongue. And then allow your eyes to close if that is safe for you today. Keep breathing, feeling that belly on the floor. Feeling as you take that breath in, the low back rises. And notice as you exhale, the spine getting closer to the floor. And if you want to join me for a little deeper sensation, press your palms into the ground. Begin to lift the elbows up. We're coming into our seal. And then notice as you do that, what happens to your glutes, right? They're probably like, whoa, engage. Can you soften a little bit? Just a little bit. And then adjust your legs accordingly. If you need more space, take them wider. If you're still okay with keeping them together, keep them there. Soften through the face. Come up a little higher if that is within your range. And you're not going beyond your edge. You're just finding that edge and playing with it. I'm definitely feeling this. Trying to soften through my muscles. I'm not trying to engage muscles here. I'm doing it all like the arms are doing all the work here. Nice spinal stretch, and then also for your low back. All right, wherever you are, go ahead, come all the way down. Make a little pillow with your hands, stack your palms, rest your forehead. And just become very still. Notice what happened to your spine. How does that feel? And just breathe here. Breathe into your low back. And then when you are ready, maybe you bend the knees. And just gently sway the feet side to side. You can keep your forehead resting. All right. So last week we did shoulders and we did broken wing. And I think I don't want to do that again because we just did it last week. But I still want to do something for the shoulders. So choices. Find your blocks or two like-size items. Let's come down into a puppy dog or heart melting. So choices. If that is too deep to come into that shape, right? You can use blocks. Walk the knees back so the knees are underneath your hips. You can bring your forehead down, getting into the shoulders that way. If this is just too much on your back or your knees, then come down into a child's pose, but keep your blocks there and the hands will be elevated on top of your blocks. You're going to feel it in your shoulders. Bring the forehead down or rest it on a pillow or a blanket. If the shoulders are feeling a little spicy, they're like, whoa, 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 this is too much. Take your hands, take the blocks a little bit wider to give your shoulders a little more space. Otherwise, keep them about shoulder distance. And then another option, third choice, bring the elbows on top of the blocks. Put the hands together, Anjali Mudra. Lower the forehead to the ground or to a blanket. Find the one that's going to work best for you. Let's hang here for 2 minutes. It's going to start to feel a little spicy, but it's good. We need it, right? Let's get into the shoulders. If you're coming with me into heart melting, you might also not use blocks, but it's up to you. Just make sure whatever you're doing, if you're doing with hips up, heart melting, try to bring the hips over the knees so they're nice and stacked. Okay. Breathing here. Same idea, you can take the hands wider if the shoulders need space. Otherwise, keep them shoulder distance. Keep pressing the forearms away from the floor. Press the hands into the floor. Keep allowing your heart to melt towards the floor. Keep breathing. Anytime I have my head on the floor, it's a really nice way to check in with the breath because the feedback is right there. I can really sense my breath when I am prone. Just gently bring yourself back to a child's pose. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Maybe extend the arms behind you. Let the shoulders rest. Take a moment. Relax and just breathe here. Give your body time to rest in between these holds to experience the rebound effect, right? So you might be feeling some sensation in the shoulders. They might be talking to you. That's okay. That's part of this process, right? You're going to feel something, right? We want you to feel something, not nothing. If you're not feeling anything, you're not going deep enough, right? This is different than restorative. All right, my friends, let's go ahead and come up very carefully. Let's find a bolster, or maybe we want to use blocks, but we're going to come onto our backs for Supta Baddha Konasana, basically reclined bound angle. So you legs might come into that butterfly shape. Choices: bolster with blocks and blanket, or maybe it's just block and blanket, or maybe it's bolster and blocks. There's lots of different ways to set up this posture. So find the appropriate ones you want to use today. I'm going to forego my bolster today and just use blocks and blanket. My blanket's going to be used as a little roll. As you can see, I rolled it up nice and tight. It's a long roll. It's going to go over the tops of my feet while my blocks, this is going to be the heart opener. So it's heart opening and hip opening. If you don't want the hips included, you can keep the legs together. Okay, so we'll do a little bound angle. Okay. We've done a lot of forward folding. So hopefully our nervous system is feeling nice and grounded and calm. And now we can take it a little bit further into the heart. So if we're dealing with anything emotional, any kind of grief, this posture will help. So that's the top part. The bottom part is going to be more for like the emotions. So this is gonna, I think these two together, like when you think about it energetically, it's gonna help each other, right? Because you're going into your hips and you're going into the chest, the heart space, the lungs. So as you're ready, let's bring the soles of the feet together. Use whatever you're going to use. If you want support for your knees, maybe it's blocks under knees, maybe it's the blanket roll. Blanket roll goes over the top. You take the tails and they tuck underneath your shins or your ankle area. And then take those blocks, adjust accordingly, right? It might be easier to move the blocks than try to line them up perfectly. All right, I'm going to take that block. Oh, I got to take out the ponytail. This won't work with the pony. Make sure your supports are nice and steady and stable and not going to move. Make sure they're not at an angle. That would not be fun. Okay. And then your choice, if you want to add a little bit more sensation to this shape, you can bring your arms overhead, clasping elbows. It's just another way to kind of get into the heart, in the lung area, just opening up the chest a little bit more. And if this doesn't work for you, bring your arms down alongside your body or gently rest the hands on your belly. And keep breathing into this heart space you've created. Smooth and gentle, even breath in. And the exhale is just as gentle. Can you pay as close attention to your breath in this position, in a supine position, as opposed to prone on your belly? Is there a difference? Do you notice your breath more in one way or the other? And notice what sensation you're feeling in your lower body. Maybe it's taking the feet further away, or maybe it's bringing the feet closer in. And if you took the arm crossing of the forearms, switch. So you're grabbing forearm the other way. The other forearm will be in front. Let go a little bit more with each exhale. Stay for another full deep breath in. And then carefully bring your hands on the outsides of your knees. Bring your knees in. Extend the legs forward. Let them just rest there for a moment. And two ways to come out. You can take your arms, press down into your palms, and push your way back up. Or you can just gently roll off to the side onto the elbow and then remove your props. Just take them out of the way. Okay. All right, how we feeling? We got one more thing before the main thing. We have another spinal twist, and then we will take our Shavasana. All right, any other comments going through? No. Okay, we've been pretty cool. We've been pretty chill. Everyone feeling good? Ready for the last couple of things? Okay, yay. Thanks, friends, for being here with me. It's always such a pleasure to serve you on Insight Timer. Um, Insight Timer is amazing. I've been using Insight Timer since 2016 for meditation, and then I started teaching December of 2020 on here during, COVID time. Isn't it weird to think that's over 5 years now? Like, what a weird time we're living in. This is going to be so strange to read about this time in history books. It's going to be bizarre. Crazy. Okay. But enough of that. So crazy. Okay. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little hug. Rock a little. Choices for your twists. Knees, both knees together to one side, right? That's always a choice. One leg straight, other knee bent. Bring that knee across. Another choice. Choice number 3, twisted roots. You wrap the legs once, maybe twice, shift the hips over, and then bring the knees to the opposite side. Oof, that's so good. Another one, number 4. This is a nice one. Wide-legged. Take the feet as wide as your yoga mat, and then drop the knees over to one side. And this is one option of this. I know I'm giving you so much to think about right now. And then take that other foot on top of the quad, just above the knee. You're feeling like a nice deep stretch through the hip flexor. Arms can be out to the side. Okay, so pick your poison, whatever's going to float your boat the best. And we shall do that for 1 minute on each side. Just try to make sure your arms, your shoulders are grounded. Add support as you need. I have a little blanket for my eagle leg twist, my twisted roots. Really good sensation, right? Feeling it in the low back. And remember, wherever you're feeling it is where your body needs to feel it. So just be with it. Feel it. Welcome it in. Welcome the physical sensation. Welcome the emotional sensation. What is it bringing up? I swear yoga triggers me in ways, right? It triggers me in the same ways that people trigger me, and it's good practice, right? Breathe through it. Know that the discomfort isn't for long, right? We are forced to work through it. Okay. Very slowly inhale, bring those knees back up. Whatever twist you took, unwind. Come back to center. Maybe hug the knees in once more. Rock a little. And then next side. Stay with the same variation if you can. If you need something different, then do that. But if you can, stay with the same variation of your twist, whatever one you took. And do your best to just relax into your shape. Be still and breathe. Good. All right, friends, very carefully unwind. Bring the knees into the chest one last time if you need it. Maybe it's a happy baby. Maybe it's just rocking side to side. Take a few breaths in whatever you're doing. And then we will come to our final resting shape of Shavasana. If you want, take a blanket for your head. If you have sandbags, bring the sandbags, put them over your hips. Oof, they're definitely dusty and sandy and hairy. Thanks, Betty. Even when she's not here, she's still with me. Her fur covering my yoga mat. Oh. All right, friends, arrange yourself on your mat. Gently tuck the shoulders underneath. Open up the heart. Let the feet roll open to the sides. Let the palms face the sky. And allow those eyes to soften or close. And let us find stillness once again to close this wonderful Yin Yoga practice. All right, my friends, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. If you wish to stay longer in your Shavasana, please feel free to do so. I'm just trying to be mindful of our time that I scheduled. So when you're ready, just move the fingers and toes, ankles, wrists, make circles in one direction. Reverse. If you have any props on your body, carefully remove them. Oof. Inhale, reach the arms overhead, full body stretch. Carefully bend one knee to time roll to one side and pause. And acknowledge if there was anything that you worked through during this practice. Maybe there was something on your heart, on your mind, and maybe things have shifted or changed, right? That's the beautiful thing about yoga. It happens like that. I used to walk into, this is what I was talking to my girl about at work, or my hairdresser girl, is that those vinyasa practices that I used to do all the time, like they allowed me to work through a lot of crap that was in my head, right? I would show up to practice. I would come to class with this laundry list of stuff. And by the time that 75, 90-minute practice was over, I was like, yeah, none of that's important anymore. Why was I trying to put so much time and energy into this thing? Most of the time I couldn't control, right? This is why this practice is so powerful. So again, thank you all so much for being here and joining me for practice tonight. Hi, Irene. Hello, welcome. Good evening, Jennifer. Love it. Love it, right? Just what we needed. We all needed this. This is why we were here. We showed up for this. Again, thank you again so much for your donations. This allows me to stay on this platform and, let this, sustain me. All right. I have to feed the dog, right? So this is for Scooby snacks for Betty. Okay, friends, sitting up nice and tall, let's close our practice. And this practice will be on the YouTube channel sometime this weekend when I get, I do a little bit of editing, not too much, just throw it up there, but I do an intro and outro, blah, blah, blah. But feel free to peruse over there if you want to watch any of the other practices. So when you're ready, inhale, reach the arms overhead, palms touch. Exhale, bringing down all of that divine, universal energy to your heart centers. And that divine, universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. The light in me salutes and honors the light in all of you, my friends. Namaste. Again, thank you so much. And tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., doing the trauma-sensitive yoga practice for sexual abuse survivors, warriors, geared mostly for women. But if men want to join the practice, obviously, totally fine. Do what feels right. It's a wonderful practice. It's a hatha practice. It goes slow. It's very invitational. And there's lots of things like certain poses we just don't do in that practice. We just throw them out completely. And this is a practice that's good for beginners, somebody that's never done yoga, and it's good for people that have done yoga for years because the emphasis is a little bit different. Okay, so I hope you join me for that. If you know anybody that could be of benefit, please share it with them, right? Let them know. You can share these little things on the teacher page. All right, Rudy, thank you. Carmen, thank you. Jennifer, thank you. Julie, thank you. All right, let's see. I have some comments here. Let's see. Can I go through the chat? The thing is, it's a little dim. I can't even see it now. Okay, there it is. My YouTube channel is Yoga with Casey. Very, very easy. Yoga with Casey. I have all my links. If you go to my teacher page here on Insight Timer, there is a link to my website at the top of my website, which is nuvohippieholistics.com. It's very lengthy, but at the top of my website, the link tree is there, and the link tree has all of the links, YouTube donations to Insight Timer, and any other things that I'm doing. So yay. Okay, friends, thank you so much for being here. You are awesome. And then maybe I'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay, so enjoy the rest of your evening, drink your water. If you ever need any support for meditation, for yoga, for EFT, for Reiki, for holistic nutrition, please feel free to reach out. You're my people, and you're the people I want to support. This is why I don't do a lot of advertising on my Instagram about what I do, because Instagram to me is just like a catch-all, and it's like, Insight Timer, you're my people. You're the people I want to hang with. Okay, I'm just seeing if there's anything else I missed in here. Thank you, Sally. Aurora, thank you. I'm glad you got something to be of benefit from this practice. Okay, I'm just navigating here a little bit. This is a little different. Okay, I had to comfort a dog most of class since he was very scared. When I was in final lesson, I said he curled up against my front. Aren't they the best? Animals are the best. You know, I swear, I'm telling you, if this whole romantic partner thing doesn't turn out to be so good for me, I'm just going to get a piece of land and about 25 dogs and call it good. Because that's where I'm at in life. All right, everyone, enjoy the rest of your evening, and I will see you tomorrow, or I will see you next Friday at 5 p.m. All right, enjoy the rest of your evening and take care.